Keith, let's start with you giving me a detailed explanation for all that's happened so far.
Asking me for an explanation, huh?
Today is supposed to be the day that my little sister has her wedding with someone, but why on the day of her wedding were you showing up to it wearing the groom's tuxedo? When I saw you walking in on my sister's wedding day as the groom, I was more shocked than actually angered with you. Even now, I'm having a hard time showing any other emotions besides shock because of how outlandish you've been.
Well, as you've pretty much seen everything for what it is, I shouldn't have to give you an explanation for what's going on here.
No, I deserve an explanation for all of that because I currently cannot believe my eyes.
Oh, for crying out loud, I guess there's no way I'm getting out of this without giving you a rundown, so I'll give you that explanation. I'm going to get married to your little sister, Joy, okay? I'm sorry for keeping all that a secret from you. Now, can we get to the part where you divorce me?
Huh? Since when have you been going after my sister, and when did she start to think it was okay to marry my husband?
Well, about half a year ago, I started to talk with her about my feelings towards her. She was working at the bar that I loved to go to a lot back then, and when she came up to me to get my order, she asked me if I was her sister's husband or not. That, I guess, is what you would actually consider the start to all this. And, well, from that point on, I tried my hardest to resist her looks, but man, did the image of me being her in my mind look amazing. And bam! She had a hold of me, and there was no other way for me to free myself anymore.
So you really were taken away by her looks?
Huh?
I know that I've already let you in on this whole story before, but let me explain to you one more time. The reason for why I left my family behind 5 years ago.
What? Why would I need to hear about that again?
My sister, Joy, she, for some reason, takes a liking in stealing anything I lay my hands on, whether that be things or people. And as for my parents, they're the kind of people that look past her doing that sort of stuff to me and love her with all their heart. So to escape such a hellish environment as that, I ran away from my home, leaving everyone in my family behind to start a new life where I didn't have to worry about Joy. Don't you remember when I told you the reason why I couldn't introduce you to my family before we were married was because of that reason? I guess you don't, because in the end, even you, Keith, even you became another part of my sister's hobby and have been stolen away from me.
Oh, come on now. I'm sure that you might just think that your sister is stealing me away from you without any actual emotion to it, but she really does love me, and I love her even more back. And you, of all people, being her sister, should be glad that she's finally found someone like me that makes her so happy. You being not happy to see that just shows how horrible of a person that you really are inside.
And the same could be said of someone that tries to have a wedding with his wife's little sister even before getting a divorce.
Excuse me?
To be honest, I never even wanted to be at my sister's wedding today. Well, either way, I'm going to head home now after this.
Hey! Things have only just begun, and I want you around to see it.
Do you actually think I want to stick around and see the end?
Huh?
You went out and told everyone that you divorced me, and that's how you got all your friends to make it to the wedding today. But those friends of yours that you went out talking to happened to be my friends as well, and figured out right away that something was wrong when the invitation said you'd be marrying my little sister. This isn't going to end well for you, Keith.
Huh? The friends that we both get along with know about this? I don't remember telling any of my friends who are your friends as well about this.
You did, but I won't tell you who. But those friends of ours saw that you sent invitations that you planned to marry my little sister. They were shocked to see that, but were even more shocked that you were doing all of this to me after everyone thought we had such a good relationship. Either way, people know just how messed up all of this is, and the word will start to spread, and everyone will begin to leave.
What?
You can choose to continue with the wedding if you'd like, but don't expect there to be many people remaining after learning about the crap you're trying to pull. Be ready to have the whole world pointing fingers at you for what you've done and calling you a freak and an idiot.
What? That's... Your sister and I were supposed to have a beautiful wedding today and be celebrated by everyone we invited.
Well, with that, in a few days let's start talks about the settlement I plan to ask from you.
You're planning to ask for money from me now?
Ah, and don't plan on coming home today, okay? I don't want to see your face right now, and I don't want to be sleeping in the same house as you anymore.
Wait, Heidi.
I'll be going now. What the heck, Heidi? Hurry up and get everyone to come back to our wedding. Huh? Why are you asking me, of all people, to do that? If you want them all back there watching your messed up wedding, then you go get them yourself. But you're the one that did all of this, so you have to get them back here or else they won't listen to me. Just because your husband left you for me because I'm better in every way doesn't mean you can just start talking bad about us and getting everyone to leave the wedding we planned out. What the heck are you thinking? I didn't do anything to make those people start leaving. Those people were all told by a friend of mine, and they chose themselves to believe your wedding is messed up and leave. And I was out of there before everyone else started to leave, so how's that my fault? I'm not responsible for their actions, nor am I going to be responsible for getting them to turn around and go back to you. So go out and get them yourself. Come back here right now! Heidi! It's been destroyed. You may have ruined my whole wedding with what you did, but I'm still going to be married to Keith, and there's nothing you can do about it. Now just divorce him already so that I can have him. I am going to hand in our marriage papers soon, and then make sure that his parents understand that I'll be his new wife. Do you even know where his parents live? What the heck are you talking about? You are living with them right now, right? Huh? Those 60-year-old people that you're living with are his parents, right? I really want to come over there and introduce myself to them, but you're always sitting in their house with them and it's driving me nuts. Can you please hurry up and get lost already? Wait. Could you be mistaking my foster parents for his parents right now? Huh? Foster parents? After I left you guys in that house, I had gone out saying that I was a foster child who had no parents. And that's when I was able to find my foster parents who took me in even though I was already in my late teens. Did you not hear about any of this from Dad? Just wait a second. That means that the gorgeous house that Keith and you have been living in is... This is the house of my foster dad. Then what about Keith's parents? To be honest, I've never met either one of them either. He told me that right after he got into college, his parents went through a tough divorce and then moved off to different places without him. And ever since then, he's been without parents, and that all happened a while back, and he's never even heard from them since. Neither of us even know where they went, to tell you the truth. Huh? So I've never met either of his parents, and he was at least able to meet my foster parents before we had our wedding. Are you kidding me? So you never even talked with Keith about who the older couple is that we've been living with? Because if you asked him whether they were his parents or not, you would have gotten your answer a whole lot sooner. He just told me that I wouldn't be able to see them at the wedding. Well, him being vague with you about it and there being no explanation isn't my problem, but I will say this. Your reason for wanting to marry Keith hasn't been for him, but rather this amazingly beautiful house that I live in right now, right? Well, you getting to live in that house all by yourself with that older couple isn't fair. So that's why I looked for your husband, and when I found the bar he went to often, I applied for a job there and was able to make my move. I planned to marry him so that I could get that house and live there as well. And what about the name on that house? I made sure to double-check the last name on that house and everything. And I can confirm that the last name on that house is the same as Keith's. And that's because Keith took my new last name in the marriage. Huh? When I was adopted by my foster parents after running away from Mom and Dad, they helped me change my last name since I'm legally their child now. And so that would mean that both Keith and I share the same last name as the owners of this house. That's why the name on the house is the same as his last name, right? What the heck? How am I supposed to let you get away with some stupid reason like that? Why didn't you ever tell me you changed your last name sooner? I assumed you would have heard from Mom and Dad about how I found new parents and they adopted me. But to be fair, you never even listened to what I say anyway, and on top of that, after I ran away, you started to tell everyone you kicked me out of the house and that I was mentally ill. That was you spreading that rumor, right? Why would I care about you knowing about my situation after running away when you go and do things like that? Ah, that's right. How about you change your story about getting adopted and make it seem like I was adopted by them instead? If you let me become their child, then I'll let you have Keith back. What? All right, that's a pretty good idea, right? No, that right there is anything but a good idea. Why is it not good? I'm giving you back the man you love so much, right? In your case, you should be begging me to give him back to you. This is your chance. You think I'm still going to love the man that cheated on me with my little sister? Huh? That bastard told me why he went after you a little while ago and explained how much he loves you over me. As well as told me that you've been together for 6 months now. He told you that already? The fact that you're getting surprised by that is surprising. Then, what can I do for you that'll get you to let me be their kid? No matter what you do, you're not going to become their child. But that's not frickin' fair! You always get to have things your way, Heidi! Then, Joy, if you really want to become their new child, do you think you can speak 5 different languages within the next 2 years fluently like me? Huh? You have to be pretty globally sophisticated to be their child, as well as know a lot about my foster dad's company. What the heck? Why do I have to do all that? The reason for me being their foster child is because I helped my foster dad's business, and will someday be the one to take over their company. And that's going to be happening in the next 2 years, so I have to be ready. What? What does this even mean? If you can't do that, then stop trying to be their next child, okay? Also, in the next few days, I'll be asking for a settlement from you. A settlement? Why? Do you really think you could get away with stealing someone's husband and there'd be no consequences for it? Unlike all those times in the past, you're an adult now, and the only thing that can save you now is money, not your parents. So don't go trying to find a way out of this one, because you won't escape me. But you're asking for money from your own sister! Well, that's still up for debate, actually. Whether you really are my little sister anymore or just some stranger to me. But either way, I'm getting a settlement. You're kidding me! In my case, I had my husband stolen from me, so I have the right to take you to court and make you pay for the damages caused. So make sure you pay every penny I ask for, and then get out of my life. But this shouldn't be happening!
Hey, Heidi! You're asking me for over $60,000? Why do I have to pay you that much? You should only be able to ask me for a smaller amount based on me cheating on you, right? I already have to deal with paying for that failed wedding and the wedding ring, but now I'm being asked to pay $60,000?
Well, when it comes to that wedding you have to pay for, you used both our money to start paying for it, right?
Wait, what?
And as for some of the money that I had in my private savings account, you used it as well on that wedding. I don't know how you figured out my PIN for that account, but you took my money without asking.
So, you want me to give that back to you, huh?
Well, when you add in that money you took from me in our shared account, the settlement comes out to $60,000.
But I don't have that kind of money right now.
Do you not realize that you stole money from me to use on a wedding with my little sister while we've still been married? If you thought that was okay, then I find it okay to make you go into debt to pay me back. And you have no right complaining to me now, right?
But this... For some reason, I haven't been able to get any response from Joy about this, and now I'm on my own, facing $60,000. Wait, what the hell is going on here? Why did I have to end up dealing with all this by myself? What did I even do that was bad enough to deserve all this?
Maybe go back and look at what you were explaining to me a little while back about what you did and my sister did. Anyway, I'm going to have my lawyer be the one to deal with you now. So take the number that's on that business card I left for you and talk with my lawyer if you have anything else to say.
And you're just gonna leave me now?
You already know the answer to that question, Keith. Now, goodbye forever.
Wait a second, Heidi. Having to get divorced from you in this manner? I don't have anywhere to go if you leave me like this. Heidi!
To start, let's talk about my sister, Joy. She had tried to get her parents to pay off the settlement I had asked for from her, but not even they had the money to pay for what I was asking. Just a little while back, the business they had ended up going bankrupt, and they had to sell their house in order to pay the bank, and have since then been without proper jobs. So with whatever money they all did have, they used to pay me, and then all had to move away into a small and worn-down apartment together. Joyce still hasn't paid everything off that I've asked for yet, but I'll make sure that she pays me little by little until she'd met the amount I've asked for. And now, here's what happened with my ex-husband. He had touched money that was not his in the first place, and even then, after using said money, he didn't have anything left to pay me that $60,000 I asked for. He ended up having to borrow money to pay the money I was asking for off, and then after that was left with no place to go. He began stalking Joy in hopes of getting money from her, and also handed in marriage paperwork to the city office without her approval. But what happens next with those two now that they might get married will have to be saved for another day, when there's more time to talk.
Hey Max, I just got off work. I'll go buy something to give your parents, then I'll head back home.
Got it, Veronica. But I'm hungry, so make sure you come home soon. Nat says she wants to eat soon too.
Hey, you know, I keep telling you, but we're both working full-time. Maybe you could make dinner sometimes, Max?
But your cooking is much better than mine.
Your cooking is good too. Can't you at least make dinner when I'm going to be back late? We can take turns if you want.
Oh, I get it. You're taking it out on me because you've had a bad day at work, huh?
No, that's not it.
You say that, but I can tell. You only say these things when you're busy at work.
If you know I'm busy with work, then that's even more reason for you to cook. Whose fault do you think it is that I've had overtime for the last few days?
Huh? Are you saying it's my fault?
It's because I'll be behind on this project from staying with your parents. 3 whole days, Max.
But they keep pestering me to go see them. They want to talk about moving closer to us too, so don't make me the villain here.
I told you that I'm against that, didn't I? Who was the one that asked them if we could stay for a few days so we could talk about that?
It was me. But we're married, so my parents are your family too. You could treat them better, couldn't you?
I would, if they treated me well back. You know that I'm not fond of your dad. Don't you remember what happened when Nat was a baby?
Oh, when Dad saw you breastfeeding her? That was so long ago. You're holding such a grudge over it when he just saw you by accident. Does it matter when he's family?
He was a stranger to me not that long before, and I only just had Nat. I think anyone would feel disgusted to be peeped on by their father-in-law in that situation. I won't ever forget it.
You just felt that way because we'd only just got married. It's been 10 years since then. He didn't mean to do it, so you should forgive him.
How could I forgive him? I don't even want to go to their house.
But if we don't visit, they'll just come over to ours.
And it's your job to stop that, Max. Didn't I tell you that there'd be no second chances? If your dad does anything like that again, I will leave their house.
I know. But I couldn't stop them this time. My parents want to spend some time with Nat.
I know they're good to Nat because they adore her. But I don't want to live on the same street as them. They might call me cold, but I just can't. You promised me this before we got married, remember?
But I do think we'll be able to focus on work more if my parents live very close. We can get them to look after Nat, right? They can help around the house, too.
We've been able to cope so far while we both worked. And really, the housework would be fine if you actually helped me, right, Max?
I guess. Fine. Just try not to decline so forcefully to my parents.
Then you should help me when we talk to them. So no agreeing to their plan, got it?
Fine, I get it. Veronica, where are you? I heard you and Nat went for a walk?
We're exploring the hills out back. Nat found a squirrel earlier, so she wants to find it again.
It's almost dark, so you should get back soon. Mom says she wants a hand with making dinner.
I know, but I don't want to see your dad. After not seeing him for so long, literally the first thing he said to me was, "You've put on some curves." That's not a normal thing to say.
He didn't mean any harm by that. He's from an older generation, so he doesn't know what's appropriate these days. Aren't you being a little too sensitive?
Maybe. But it didn't exactly make me feel great.
Just ignore him. Anyway, don't go near the guest house. There's someone with a very twisted head in there.
Twisted head? Isn't it just Franklin?
Yeah, I didn't think my brother would be visiting as well. I wish I'd known so we could have visited another time.
I've greeted him a few times, but he seems normal. I said hi, but he responded normally.
Ugh, don't say hi to him. In fact, you shouldn't speak to him at all. Even if he speaks to you, ignore him.
Okay. But what's so strange about him? I didn't notice anything different about him.
He's kind of creepy, and he's always watching anime. You know, a weeaboo. I spoke to Dad about it, but he's probably not interested in women his own age. It's probably why he's still single past 30.
Isn't that a little harsh? I think the stage you get married at is different for everyone. I watch anime sometimes too.
But the stuff he watches isn't the normal kind. And when I was back in high school, he peeped on my girlfriend at the time while she was in the bathroom.
Wow, is that true?
He's disgusting, right? He got beaten by Dad because of that. Anyway, don't go near the guest house anymore. I don't want him to meet Nat either. He's the kind of person that might end up on the news because he did something to a child.
I got it. If you're so insistent, I won't go near the guest house.
Yeah, that's for the best. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm going drinking with my local friends after dinner.
Really? You're going to leave me and Nat alone?
After you eat, it's just brush your teeth and go to bed, right? You'll be fine without me. We'll speak tomorrow about moving house.
But...
You should show them your parenting and help them around the house. My parents were against us both working full-time, remember? They're from a generation where it's normal for the women to be stay-at-home moms.
Hey, wait a minute. They don't think I do the housework normally? Then you should tell them that I do!
Well, I know that. But my parents don't. If you show them that you can take care of the family, they won't use that against us when we decline about them moving close.
I don't get this at all. Fine. But come home quickly.
Well, I'll make an effort.
An effort? I came here even though I didn't want to. You need to support me a little more.
Fine, I get it. When we have the talk with my parents, I'll be on your side, Veronica.
As you should. Oh, will Franklin be joining us for the talk?
I doubt it. Our parents moving doesn't concern him.
Of course it does. They're his parents too. They're considering moving because they're worried about our living situation. Franklin should be involved too.
It's fine. Don't worry about him.
I'll at least tell him that we're having this talk.
It's fine. I told you already, didn't I? Don't go near the guest house where he is.
I won't take Nat with me. Then it should be fine, right?
Talking to him won't do any good. Just don't go near him.
Then you should tell him, Max.
I don't want to speak to him.
Then I guess I'll have to talk to him.
Well, it's not my fault if something happens. I tried to warn you. It'll be your own fault and no one else's. Hey, why did you leave the house? I'm hungover and I've got a splitting headache. I don't want to deal with this. I'm really not in the mood for this.
That's my line, Max. I called you so many times, but you didn't pick up.
I was drinking with my friends. I couldn't help it.
My butt, you couldn't. You heard what happened yesterday, right?
Yeah, Franklin went under Nat's bed covers in the night. I told you that my brother was a pervert, didn't I? You still went to speak to him after I told you not to. This is your fault.
What are you talking about?
I'm telling you that this was caused by you speaking to Franklin. It's because you went into the guest house when there was no need, so he took that as an invitation. You can't just do whatever just because my parents aren't going to be living close.
What?
And you left even before we had the talk with my parents. My parents say they're so disappointed in you. They said that they want a daughter-in-law who treats them well. I don't know if it's going to work between us like this.
Right. I agree. Let's divorce. I can't do this with you anymore either, Max. Getting divorced would be the best thing for both of us.
No. I only said that half seriously. I didn't mean that I wanted to divorce you.
I'm saying it completely seriously. Anyway, what? Franklin went under Nat's bed covers? Is that what your parents told you?
They did.
That's wrong. Your dad was the one who went under Nat's bed covers. Franklin actually tried to stop him. Your dad's face is swollen, right?
Huh? Dad said he got hit when he tried to stop Franklin.
I was watching the whole thing right next to them. When Nat woke up screaming, your dad was right next to her. Nat says Franklin tried to help her as well. We didn't just both imagine that.
Oh. So it wasn't Franklin after all.
You said that Franklin is a sick pervert, but not only is he normal, he's kind. He actually gave us a lift away from your parents' house. It's your dad who's sick in the head.
Wow, what are you saying? Why is Dad sick?
He snuck into Nat's bed. And he even lied that it was Franklin who did it. If that isn't sick, I don't know what is.
My dad's her grandfather, so it's okay, lol. He just wanted to cuddle with his granddaughter after not seeing her for so long. He probably made it Franklin's fault because you guys noticed and he was just embarrassed.
What? Are you being serious right now? He snuck into the room where we were sleeping while you were gone. I was even sleeping beside her. Your dad is a filthy pervert. He's a twisted old geezer.
What's your problem? Why are you insulting Dad?
I'm not insulting him, just stating the truth. I shouldn't be asking you why you don't understand. Do you even realize what he did to your own daughter?
Stop treating Dad as if he's a weirdo. You always twist everything he does to make him look bad. How self-centered are you to be so self-conscious about him seeing you breastfeeding Nat?
I see now. It's like Franklin said.
What is?
He said that even if I told you, you wouldn't believe me, Max. You said that in the past, Franklin peeped on your girlfriend in the bathroom. But he denied it, right?
Of course, anyone would deny it. They don't want to be treated like a criminal.
He told me that that was your dad too. Franklin caught your dad as he was peeping on her. He said that he pinned the blame on Franklin. He was forced to become distant from the family because he found out your dad's secret.
But he could just be making all of this up. There's no evidence.
There is. There's footage of your dad sneaking into our room.
Footage?
Franklin went to your parents' house for a purpose. He thought that your dad would try to do something creepy. So he was trying to get some proof.
Are you sure that's true?
What's the point in me lying about this? Nat even told me that when she was having a shower, your dad went into the bathroom to speak to her. It's very suspicious behavior. Why would he go to the bathroom and speak to her from behind the shower curtains? I can't help but wonder what would have happened if she was getting changed.
Hey, come on now. Stop thinking in that way. You're being dramatic. He's family. I feel sorry for Dad.
What? You're going to take your dad's side even after all this?
I'm not taking sides. I'm just doing what's right. Stop accusing him of doing strange things when he's family. This is horrible.
You're the one who's horrible, Max. Nat says she's creeped out by her granddad, too. I don't need you if you're not going to protect me and Nat. I should have divorced you sooner if this was going to happen.
Just calm down, Veronica. What a joke it would be to divorce over something so small.
It's no small thing. Not for me or Nat. And this isn't just about your dad. I'm getting sick of your behavior too, Max.
My behavior? I've been a good father, haven't I? Aren't you satisfied?
You believe your father over me and our daughter. We both work full-time, but you feel entitled to me doing all the housework. You show no concern for your daughter. You try to protect your parents over us after what we went through. I've had enough. Enough of everything.
What the hell? I wish I'd listened to my parents.
Huh?
Women with careers get full of themselves. It's exactly as they said. Just because you could make it on your own, even if we divorce, you insult my parents. You won't quit your job, but you won't let my parents move close by. You're selfish and always whining. I should have married a more obedient woman.
Fine then. So, we agree to a divorce? We'll be leaving the house immediately.
Veronica, hi. It's been a while.
What is it? Didn't I tell you not to text me other than for seeing Nat?
Actually, I wanted to apologize to you and Nat. I was wrong.
Okay.
After we divorced, my parents moved in with me. They couldn't get hold of Franklin. So we were living normally until recently. But Dad got arrested.
Oh? What for?
You know the Hartleys next door? Dad was stealing laundry from their little girl.
Really?
Yeah, really. And when they searched his room, he had items of clothing from other women and girls too.
Right. So, now you believe us.
I'm sorry, I was so stupid. It seems like Mom knew from before about Dad's sick habit, but she ignored it. Now she's just holed herself up in her room. Please, help me. I can't look after the two of us alone.
And? I'm not your wife anymore.
I'm begging you. The house is a mess and the neighbors are looking at us coldly. I feel myself getting depressed as well.
I'm sure it's tough for you. But this is what you wanted. You chose your parents over us.
But I didn't think Dad was actually guilty.
I understand wanting to believe in your own father. But I told you so many times, didn't I? This could have gone differently if you'd listened to us back then.
Veronica, let's fix this. I'll really make an effort. I'll protect you and Nat from now on. I'll contribute to the housework too. I won't burden you with everything. I'll work hard.
Max.
Let's sell this house and buy a bigger property to build a house on. We can't live here anymore. It'll work out as long as we're both working full-time. We'll build a guest house for my parents.
What? So your parents will live with us too?
It's fine as long as we have separate living spaces, right? We just look after them sometimes.
You don't get it at all. I'm tired of this. Divorcing you was the right decision after all.
But they're family. We should take care of them, right?
You're still saying that? What if your dad tries to do something to us again?
I'll protect you both if that happens.
It'll be too late after the fact. Anyway, what makes you think you could protect us next time when you couldn't before? I'm not living with your parents, nor you. Nat and I will live with just the two of us.
Veronica, didn't you love me? If there wasn't this problem with my parents, our marriage will have continued.
I thought about that. But I think this would have happened between us eventually. I thought I should move on after considering that.
But why? Why does this have to happen?
Because I have no choice. You didn't stop your dad from peeping on my breastfeeding. You laughed as if it was normal when he snuck into Nat's bed covers. You said it was normal because he's family, that we were being overly sensitive. I can't deal with your way of thinking.
I just want you to support me. Please. Help me.
You asked for help when you didn't help us. How convenient. Of course I wouldn't live with those people.
But I can't even move house like this. The house is a total mess.
You said you'd contribute to the housework earlier, but maybe you should do that now. Stop relying on others. If you can't do it now, that wouldn't magically change if you moved in with us.
No. I'll make an effort. Please come back, because I'll help out. I'm begging you.
I don't want to live with a criminal. Stop trying to drag me and Nat into this. You said you want to marry a more obedient woman, didn't you? I'll never forget that. I will never choose to be your family again. After that, Max contacted me several times. I guess he was really struggling. He even waited for me in front of my workplace once, so I reported him to the police. They put a restraining order on Max. He stopped contacting me since, so it looks like he gave up. I heard that his dad was at it again and did something similar again. He was arrested. Again. I'm really glad that we didn't end up living with someone like that. Max is busy with his dad's court proceedings and paying compensation to victims. But this is what he wanted, so I hope he takes good care of them. Nat and I moved away, and we're living peacefully. Nat's taken a liking to Franklin after he saved her. She sometimes borrows my phone to text him. Their conversations are all anime, so I don't really get it. But I'm glad to see that they seem to enjoy talking. It's great that Nat has such a caring uncle. I'll make sure that Nat is taken care of and protected.